I asked a wise man, "Tell me, sir, in which field could I make a great career?" He said with a smile, "Be a good human being. There is a lot of opportunity in this area and very little competition." A very good morning, class. I have started my session with this good morning message. You may find it very funny because if I have to ask you in which field you want to make a career, probably you would tell me, "Miss, I want to make a career in the field of medicine, probably engineering, law, become a businessman or a film star, and so on." I am sure none of us would tell, "I want to make a great career in becoming a good human being," isn't it? But this is exactly what many believed in it. Here are a few famous people, probably famous, but still many do not know them too well. These are the ones who abided by the values where they went on to make a career in becoming good human beings and transforming the world and are transforming too. We have Mother Teresa who gave her entire life in working for the poor, the downtrodden, the destitutes, and the lepers. You have Meda Patkar, I'm sure you've heard about her. Till date, she works for the farmers. She fights against injustice, against corruption. Baba Amte, who is no more today, but he is the man who gave his entire life working for the lepers of Maharashtra. Today, his entire family is into it. And of course, we have Anna Hazare, who till date fights against corruption. These are the people who believed that they want to make something different in this world rather than a career of a white collar job. And similar to this is another person out here by the name of Mr. Kailash Satyarthi. Kailash Satyarthi is a man who received an award in 2014. He received the Nobel Prize for being a human rights activist. And of course, he surely did something very, very special and is doing to achieve this award. The chapter that we are going to do is called as Let's March. It is Let's march against injustice, march against corruption, march for the freedom class, true freedom, freedom for education for all, freedom for human rights for all. And when I say human rights, just as I and you, these children also deserve these rights. Years back, the Constitution of India abolished child labor in our country, and of course, throughout the world, child labor has been abolished. But sad enough, in some of the countries, especially the poor countries or the underdeveloped, and more so in India, child labor still exists. We see them selling tea at the tea stores. Sometimes at small restaurants we see these children cleaning up the tables, serving water. Many of us are there who have kept these children who are 14 and below 14 as housemaids in our homes. At construction sites we see them. The big question is, are these children different from us? Don't they have the right to take the same kind of education that I and you are receiving or have received? And Kailash Satyarthi is a man who is fighting for such children. He has what is called as the Bharat Yatra, whereby he marched along with his people throughout India, not only India but even throughout the world, and went on to save such children. And for that, he received the Nobel Prize. So let's begin this lesson class, let's march, which is in the form of a speech that was given by Kailash Satyarthi on the day he received the Nobel Prize in 2014 at Norway in Oslo. So, just as I always do it, I shall read. Keep a pencil or a pen in your hand to mark the grammar. Part 1. My dear children of the world, your majesties, your royal highnesses, excellencies, distinguished members of the Norwegian Nobel Committee, dear brother Tom Harkin, brothers and sisters, and my dear daughter Malala. So, just as in a speech, similarly, Mr. Kailash is addressing all those who are assembled there for the Peace Prize. You have the royalty out there, distinguished people, all the very known people, and he also mentions two names, that is Tom Harkin and Malala. These two also received the Nobel Prize on the same day. We will be doing about them later on in the chapter, so I won't speak about them right now. From this podium of peace and humanity, I am deeply honored to recite a mantra from the ancient text of wisdom Vedas. This mantra carries a prayer, an aspiration, and a resolve that has the potential to liberate humanity from all man made crises. So he begins the speech by addressing, and then he begins it by reciting a mantra from one of the Vedas. And he says the mantra is very powerful because this mantra is a prayer which goes on to bring hope. Hope that one day we will be free, one day man will be free from all man made crises, man made problems, man made troubles. And that is what the mantra is, which he began with. Let's walk together in the pursuit of global progress. Not a single person should be left out or left behind in any corner of the world, from east to west, from south to north. So he says, today he says he wants to give a call to the entire world to walk together, to fight for these innocent children, to fight for their rights, and to have a global progress. Progress doesn't mean only just advancement in technology and science and medicine and so on. What is the use of technology when it does not help the children of our world? It becomes very meaningless then, because then we are catering only to the rich society, to one section of the society, when the other section is still lurking in poverty. Let's speak together, let our minds come together, learning from the experiences of our ancestors. Let us today together create knowledge for all that benefits all. So he says, let everyone think together of what is right. And just as our ancestors, over here, ancestors means all those social workers also of the past who helped our world and our country to progress. You've done it in history, the social workers also, Rajaram Mohan Roy, Mahatma Jyotirao Phule, Mahatma Gandhi, Savitri Bai Phule, Vinoba Bhave, all these were the people who wanted our country to progress. And so many years, still we are struggling to progress. And still we are caught up in superstition and torture of harassment of human beings, especially children. I bow to my late parents, to my motherland, India, and to the Mother Earth. So he gives his due respect to his parents, to the motherland, our country, and to the Mother Earth, that is the world. With a warm heart, I recall how thousands of times I have been liberated each time I have freed a child from slavery. In the first smile of freedom on their beautiful faces, I see the gods smiling. So he says each time when he and his co-workers, when they come to know about child trafficking, I hope you know what is child trafficking. Child trafficking is where, just as in the market we sell goods, Similarly, very secretly or in a very corrupt manner, many a times children are sold for various purposes. So it says many a times when such children are saved, and the smile that he sees on their face when they are saved, he says he can see God smiling through them. How beautifully he has put forward. And he says that is the time he experiences freedom in the true sense. I give the biggest credit of this honor to my movements Kalu Kumar, Dhoom Das, and Adarsh Kishore from India, and Iqbal Masya from Pakistan, who made the supreme sacrifice. So he says he is receiving a Nobel Prize today, but he says he alone could not have done this. He gives due credit to all these people whom he has mentioned, and they do not belong only to India class, but you also have people from Pakistan who have helped him. When I say Pakistan, meaning he has gone right up to Pakistan to save the children out over there also. And he says, if not for these people, today's day you would have never seen. Now, of this particular page class, mark the grammar. Second paragraph, you have the word peace. Change it into a verb. Your answer will be pacify, Pacify. Same line, humanity, change it to adjective, humane, Humane. Come to the third line. This mantra carries a prayer. Change it into an interrogative sentence. Answer will be, doesn't this mantra carry a prayer and a question mark? Next paragraph, first line. Let's walk together. Add a question tag. Answer will be, let's walk together, shall we? And a question mark. Come a little lower down, you have over there the word warm. Second last paragraph. Change it into a noun. Answer is warmth, Warmth. Second line, you have the word liberated. Again, change it into a noun. Answer will be liberation. Last line of that paragraph, I see the gods smiling. Change it into present perfect tense. Answer will be, I have seen the gods smiling. Don't forget, present perfect, we always use the auxiliary verb have. So since here the pronoun is I, first person, therefore you will use have. So I have seen the gods smiling. Okay. Let us continue, class. So we say that at the end, I'll just repeat the last paragraph again since it's a continuation of the next page. I give the biggest credit of this honor to my movements, Kalu Kumar, Dhoom Das, and Adarsh Kishore from India, and Iqbal Masya from Pakistan, who made the supreme sacrifice for protecting the freedom and dignity of children. I humbly accept this award on behalf of all such martyrs, my fellow activists across the world, and my countrymen. So I explained to you that, and mind you, class, all these names that he has mentioned, they are no more today. He says he is very thankful to them and he calls them martyrs. Martyrs because they sacrifice their lives for this cause of freeing the children. Now you'll wonder why. Remember one thing, class, what Kailash Satyarthi and his team was doing was not a very is not a very simple job. It's a very risky task, because when we are talking about child abuse, we are talking about human trafficking, or we are talking about freedom from child labor, These people are directly coming in contact many a times with politicians, with affluent social workers who put the mask of being social workers but actually are into all kinds of corruption, big business people, a lot of money involved in it. Many a times you have even the law besides such people. So what happens is when you are fighting against such powerful individuals, many a times these people have to lose their life. They risk their life and their family, so it's not easy. So this is what has happened. So these people who are mentioned have lost their lives. My journey from the great land of Lord Buddha, Guru Nanak, and Mahatma Gandhi, India to Norway is a connect between the two centers of global peace and a brotherhood ancient and modern. So he praises his country, praises our country, and he says he gives thanks to Lord Buddha and Guru Nanak and all these great people. And he says this Nobel Prize or whatever he is doing will try to bridge the entire, all the countries in the world towards peace and brotherhood. Friends, the Nobel Committee has generously invited me to present a lecture. Respectfully, I am unable to do that because I am representing here the sound of silence, the cry of innocence, and the face of invisibility. I represent millions of those children who are left behind, and that's why I have kept an empty chair here as a reminder. When he's told to give the speech, he says he's unable to give a lecture because he says he's not taking this award because he's done something great, but rather he says he represents all those children and he calls it the sound of silence. Why sound of silence, class? Because many a times we hear these things happening around us, we see these things happening around us, but we keep our eyes shut and we close our ears towards it because we don't want to get involved in all such things. We are frightened to get involved in this. Similarly, he says it's it's the face of invisibility. Face of invisibility because we are not noticing the suffering that these children go through. We are happy in our own world. And that is why he says he is representing the cry of the innocence, the cry of the children. And therefore, he says he has deliberately kept a chair empty to his chair as a symbol that he is representing the children of the world who are going through all these sufferings. I have come here only to share the voices and dreams of our children because they are all our children. Gesture to everyone in the audience. I have looked into their frightened and exhausted eyes. I have held their injured bodies and felt their broken spirits. So he says, today is the voice of all those children, and he points at the audience because there were many children sitting out there. And he says, he has seen that look, that frightened look, that exhausted, that tired look when he is to free these children because they were absolutely broken in spirit, completely lost hope. Probably their own parents had sold them out of poverty, or probably they were kidnapped by someone or the other and sold, and must have thought that they would always end their life out there, no one would come to save them. So Kailash Satyarthi and his team is like a ray of hope for these children. 20 years ago, in the foothills of the Himalayas, I met a small, skinny child laborer. He asked me, is the world so poor that it cannot give me a toy and a book instead of forcing me to take a gun or a tool? Very harsh reality, class. He says 20 years ago, mind you, he's talking about 20 years ago. He says he met a very thin, skinny child laborer, manual laborer, okay, at the foothills of the Himalayas. And when he saved this child from this labor class, he says that the child had only one question. Very innocently, he asked Kailash Satyarthi that is it that the world is so poor that instead of giving toys or a book to a child, we are forced to pick up a gun or a tool? Tool probably, maybe he was picked up from a farm or field working out there, or probably in some factory, we do not know. So this is the question class that innocent child asked. And it is absolutely right, class. Today also, many a times when certain times we enjoy, many of us when we stand at a tea stall and enjoy that lovely cup of tea from the hands of a child, little do we realize that the one who is serving us tea there is a child. We are not supposed to take that tea from the child. But sometimes people are helpless, but it is wrong. Similarly, when we burst crackers during festivals, little do we know that the hands that made those crackers or packed those crackers are children, innocent children, who should be bursting crackers like any other child, but instead of that, they are working out there. So, this is the sad reality, but it's very good to know that there are many people like Kailash Satyarthi who are working for these children. Let's mark the grammar of this page, class. Okay, you have over there in the third paragraph, I represent millions of those children who are left behind. Pick out the clause and state its kind. So, I represent millions of those children is the main clause. Who are left behind is your adjective clause. Because if I ask the question, what kind of children do I represent? So, who are left behind? So, you get the answer for it. So, it becomes an adjective clause. Next paragraph, you have the sentence out there. I have held their injured bodies. Change the voice. Your answer will be their injured bodies have been held by me. Next paragraph. He asked me, is the world so poor that it cannot give me a toy and a book? Instead of forcing me to take a gun or a tool, change it into indirect speech. Since it's a question and already the reporting verb is asked, you can keep the same. So it will be, he asked me, remove the inverted commas, if the world was so poor that it couldn't give me a toy and a book, instead of forcing me to take a gun or a tool, and a full stop. No punctuation marks will be there except for a full stop. So, with this class, this chapter is very lengthy. I have completed a few paragraphs. We will continue on Wednesday. So, have a nice day, class. God bless you.